Question everything in pursuit of your purpose. Ask yourself, what if?
Everybody, thank you for joining us again for another live episode of the Pursuit of Purpose, What Are We Doing series of live podcast episodes. What are we doing? I'm Rob.
I'm Chuck.
And our topic for today, you want to tell them what it is?
We're going to talk about practical methods of goal accomplishment, goal development, sorry. But secondary is strategies to accomplish them. So goal development and then strategies.
You know, it's like we were talking before I hit the go live buttons that we don't teach our kids and we don't teach our youth enough about the development of goals, the development of focus for your life, and then learning how to find your purpose.
That's right. We don't.
You know, the name of our practice, of course, we pursuit of purpose, but you can't pursue your purpose unless you know what it is, and unless you have spent some time working to develop that, and then learning how to work and develop strategies
Yes.
for practically attaining goals.
Right.
So we're going to talk about some of that today, and who knows, we may take the conversation political later on in the show. I've got some curiosities about our current world state of affairs, and I'm just really curious about what our audience's take will be on that. But firsthand, we're going to talk about, so how does a person want, we all want to know, why are we here, right?
Yes.
We all want to know what is it that I have, what am I doing with my life? What are we doing? Like, why am I here? What is my purpose? How do I figure that out?
Right.
And Chuck, you've heard me talk about this with clients, and we've taught this in our leadership course. One of the most simple and practical ways to do that, and we've talked about it on here live in episodes previously, but one of the most simple and practical ways to do that is go all the way to the end. If a person is truly intent on discovering their purpose and pursuing their purpose, one of the best ways to do that and develop it practically and simply is to take yourself to whatever age you believe you want to live to.
Okay.
Like for me, 220. I think that's practical.
I think that's reasonable.
So,
Ricky Bobby.
Right?
Because
in modern advancements in medicine and everything like that,
Right.
No, but seriously, we'll take ourselves to our furthest conclusion, to our death.
Mm.
And then in your imagination, write your own eulogy.
Mm.
Our lives are summarized at the end, typically by a person speaking in front of a crowd, in hopefully in celebration of our life. But at the end, that person stands before the crowd, whether they be a minister or a friend, whoever they may be, or maybe it's a few people. But typically, your entire life is summarized in 5 to 30 minutes. That's it.
That's it.
So if you were to apportion that out in the years you live and divide them into those 5 to 30 minutes, what you're doing is just a brief second, if that.
At that.
So the reason I challenge people to do this, and it's so simple, it's not morbid at all, so don't take it that way.
Absolutely not.
But it's so simple because you take yourself into the future and then you imagine what that person's going to say.
Yeah.
What are they going to say about you? What are they going to say? What are they going to tout as your accomplishments? What are they going to say everyone remembers about you? What are they going to say you brought to the table? What mark did you leave on humanity?
Yes.
Were you a helper? Were you a giver? Were you a builder? Were you a creator? Were you secluded? Were you a hermit? Did you keep to yourself? Did you build friends?
Did you influence? What was your influence on the world? And what influence did you leave? Whenever we do that exercise, and every time we do that, from the first time we started doing that, I thought, these people, because we get these people to not only create it, but we also help them edit it. Because a lot of times they'll go through, and this is very natural, friends. they'll go through and they'll just list like a resume. This is what I did, what I did. No, 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 no. What legacy do you want to leave? And that's even deeper than that. But then I said, take that document and go put it somewhere. Put it in a safe deposit box or fix it to your will, and make sure that whoever's going to do the service, give it to your spouse or whoever, your child, and say, make sure they read this.
Right.
And now when you put that kind of pressure on it, it's amazing what can come out of folks.
So we've got some comments here.
All right.
And by the way, thank you guys for joining us, whether you be on TikTok, YouTube, X, Kick, Twitch, wherever you're finding us on social media. Thank you for being part of our audience.
Thank you.
Even if you don't like us, even if you're an antagonist, I appreciate it anyway. So
Sure.
Space Madness says vanity and arrogance here is unchristlike. I hope you're not talking about the idea of writing your own eulogy, because that's actually very much the opposite of arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
That's going through your life with humility and with imagination, recounting the things that you want to do with imagination, have done, so that you can be useful in your time in this existence.
And I think you would be pleasantly surprised. Every person that we've walked through this exercise with has settled on humility and servanthood. That's how they really want to be remembered, not for their possessions.
I don't see that as settling. I see that as a high, lofty goal of attainment.
Okay.
So Wickety Split, aka Kevin Bailey, says there's only two people. Hold on, he's trying to run away from me. There's only two people who left the mark before they left, and that was Elvis and Michael Jackson. That's funny. Wickety Split. Let's thank y'all for joining us today. I see you. Let's see, Faith Buddy, Lauren B. Pena. Good to see you, Lauren. Hope everything's going well out there, Austin.
Let me say this to Lickety. I grew up, I raised my children, I should say, in a Southern home. We had crosses, we had Bibles, and we had a picture of Elvis. Just want to let you know that.
Was it a velvet picture?
It was not velvet.
Okay.
It was one of those kind where they take a bunch of his lifetime photos and make a portrait. It was the coolest. Yeah. But and we pulled it out of a magazine, and my wife said, "What are we going to do with this? We're framing it. It's Elvis, and we live in this."
I appreciate that you enjoyed that, and I also appreciate that you didn't bring that to our office. While I can appreciate a little bit of Elvis music every now and then in small quantities, I emphasize small quantities, and I have no interest in staring at pictures or portraits of Elvis in our work environment.
Hey, to keep things real, she got it in the divorce. So there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, good for her and good for me. So anyway, a very simple and practical method. And a lot of people are afraid to get into this mindset because they think they have to deal with their own mortality. That's not true. That's not where we're going with this at all.
Right.
You're enhancing your vitality.
Yes.
You're enhancing your life.
Yes.
So, and the cool thing about this is, if you can make it a practice, that this is amazing and it works every time. It never fails. But if you will make this a practice, go in your imagination, go to the end of your days, go beyond that, write your eulogy. The first time is going to be the worst time. Chuck loves that saying.
That's my thing.
So the first time is going to be the worst time. Give yourself a break. Write it once. Wait a week and go back and read it and rewrite it. And then periodically make it a practice to go back, read and rewrite your eulogy. And don't overly focus on it in those break times.
Right.
Set a reminder in your phone or whatever it is. And what's crazy about this is, and it works every time, it never fails. It's based on universal principles. But as you do this, to make it a process in your life, you will actually notice every time when you go back to read it and rewrite it, that things that you wrote about in there are happening, because you become a magnet. You draw into yourself the things that are needed. Your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, and your spirit, everything about you begins to build on those desires.
That's right. Let's say you put in there that you want to be more of a servant. You want to find areas where you can give back. That's what's going to come to you. Areas to serve, areas. It's just the coolest thing on how it works. It's one of the, remember we used to use it with the end in mind. It's kind of like that. And I'll tell you a quick story if I may. So I coached for years before I got into counseling and coaching, this type of coaching. I was basketball coach. And I'd gone to some clinics as a young coach. I'm just following the older guys. Like, well, come go with us. We're going to go to this clinic. And one of the things that we brought out of that was when you, right before you start your season, you sit down with your team and you set goals. And I said, what are we going for here, man? This is a boys team. And of course, every one of them said, we want to win a state championship. And so I just wrote it at the top of the board, state championship. And then we broke it all the way down to the regional level, the district level, the season level. And then we broke it all the way down to each and every practice. What's going to be your goal to get to that? And I only went over it once, but later you could hear those boys would bring it up in practice. Remember, we're playing for a championship here, guys. I'm like, look at that. And I think they played better as a result of it. I think it brought things out of them they probably didn't even know they had. So I appreciate that tip from my early coach.
So Valerie, thank you for joining us. I see Valerie. Valerie said hi. And I'd be curious to know, do any of you have any goals that you'd like to talk about? We'd love to hear about that. If you have any that you've, that you have worked on or that you've been frustrated about, do you have any goals that you'd be willing to discuss with us? Wickety Split, aka Kevin Bailey, says, I'm 36. How do I get to be as fly as you guys at 50? That's fun.
That is.
That is funny crap. Last thing on earth that I would do is hope that anyone aspires to be as you say, fly as us.
Yes.
Thank
you, brother.
I appreciate it, but I consider myself to be a bit of a nerd, and I think my wife thinks that as well.
Right.
But thanks anyway.
Yeah.
So, if any of you out there have goals, and I'm going to tell you this. So, I've lived my life constantly rewriting and rewriting my goals. It's never stayed the same.
Right.
And that actually, at some point in my life, some years back, it was a point of frustration for me. I felt like, man, I don't even know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to be. I don't even know what I've done. Mm-hmm. I've had this business and that business that I started, and they've gone fairly well. But I never felt really fulfilled. Mm-hmm. And I saw Leslie Braley on there. Thanks for joining us, Leslie, if you're still there. Leslie actually worked with me for me in one of my businesses. Oh. She worked in the office, and her brother worked for me out in the field. Okay. And, we had a lot of opportunities for growth throughout that adventure.
And but you live to tell about
it. Yes, we all live to tell the tales.
Help me. No.
Yeah. Now he's stuck with me. But anyway, throughout that process, it was all building towards this. I didn't know it at the time. Mm-hmm. I always felt like there was more. Yeah. There was more that I should be doing, or more that I could be doing, or more people that I could be helping or should be helping. Mm-hmm. I never felt like I was doing enough.
Right.
So I never had that sense of fulfillment.
So one word that, because we argue a lot, not with each other, but on those words, like, no, don't use it as something I will be doing. I will be doing. And it doesn't have to be perfectly defined. That's part of goal development. I don't have to have it exact. I just have to have it more directional. What I will be doing. We're future tense people. We really don't look back except to just do a little evaluation. What can we learn from it? That is the definition of purpose.
And Wickety Split, aka Kevin Bailey, says Hugh Hefner had girls in his until his 90s.
Goals.
Hey man, whatever you believe is worthy for you, then hey, go for it. I ain't judging.
No.
But that is how you're gonna feel about that after the fact.
Hey.
But if you love it, I love it.
Yes. So I can tell you that let's say you think of the word transform. Some of you probably read the same book I read, and transformation, be ye transformed. It's all up in there. Well, to be transformed is to renew your form, whatever that form is. To transcribe is to renew the scribe. If you're reading something, you're transcribing into something else, you're actually giving it a fresh renewal. So I hope that you are open and embracing the idea that you will transform. And Rob was just describing that as he was talking about the former life with Leslie and her brother and other folks. He was always in this transforming state. And I think sometimes that intimidates people. They want to master it and keep it. That is not growth.
Hey, Brooklyn, good to see you. Glad to see you join us today. If you're just joining us now, guys, just to let you know, we are talking about goals, your personal goals. It could be your business goals. It could be whatever it is, family, whatever. But we're talking about practical ways of setting goals, of working towards achieving goals, building strategies for attainment of goals.
Yes.
And part of that, part of the importance of that is finding purpose for your life.
Yeah.
You know, we talk a lot on this in our practice about purpose, but the truth is, I really believe that the purpose is just what you get to focus on, what you get to see as your vision, where you're headed, so that you can experience the pursuit.
Yes.
I really believe that life's value lies in the pursuit more so than in the goal itself.
Right.
Because every time you attain a goal, you have to set another one.
Yes.
The goal is never what satisfies you.
That's right.
It's always how you got there.
Yes.
Because the goal is just once you get there, it's done. It's finished. It's the finite end
Right.
to that pursuit.
Yeah. The beauty of it is the journey.
Yes.
Not the get. By the time you get there, it's already expected. You're going to have it. So the beauty is creating how you're going to get there. You know, I can tell you guys this, and we talk a lot about our practice as coaches. Each and every time we've gone into a coaching scenario, it's a little different. We interview our people, we find out who we're working with, and we slowly start developing goals for this practice. And then right after, that's early on. Right after that, it's all about the pursuit. And that involves how we create fresh exercises. So this isn't in a can. This is something we actually put into practice, even with a new audience.
Yeah. So the goal is watching. Thank you for joining us. The goal. I like the handle there. Wickedy's put you here for a reason. Yes, I agree. 100%. God put you here. He put all of us here for a particular reason. And you know, that's a fascinating thing. When we align our lives and choose to pursue purpose in our life, any one particular moment,
right,
you begin to operate from a place of abundance that you know many times we don't even see as possible. We don't even see as likely, much less attainable.
Right.
But we begin to operate from this place where we can always give from what's in us. Yes. From what we have. It doesn't have to be money, but you can give from the place of positivity, from the place of purpose inside of you. You can inspire, you can influence, you can help others grow in their journey.
And what do you suppose would happen if you just took a moment from today and you did a kind thing for somebody, maybe a relative stranger, maybe just two people showing up at a door at the same time, you opened it, you gave a fine greeting, and then they moved on. What likely will happen next? They will probably pass that on to someone you'll never meet. Isn't that beautiful?
So West Side wants to take it political. We've got a few of them on the chat that are wanting to say political stuff. I'm going to address West Side because I think it's a fascinating thing that people like to. I don't know what I mean. They're trying to be antagonistic, I suppose. West Side says, "Do you think Trump is Jesus-like?" Well, he doesn't behave necessarily like the Jesus I follow. However, that's not for me to say. I'm not living in his life. I don't look at him as though he is Jesus.
No.
Was Biden or Obama or Bush or any of them Jesus-like? No. Not in my view. I don't see any of our past presidents representing Jesus to me or to the world. However, I'll say this. The Bible says that each person in leadership is appointed for such a time.
Yes.
They're there for a purpose. It's not necessarily something that I have to understand or agree with, but there's a purpose in their existence.
Right.
So I, I don't really know how to make you understand what I'm trying to say, West Side, but
Yeah, I can say maybe I can help a little bit.
yeah, go ahead.
It's not in our place to deify any man. So no, I'm not going to put that on anybody. And I even know that even our Jewish friends, they like to hold King David in high esteem. But even he struggled with maintaining his Jesusness, if you will. And as we all know, a lot of his stories. If you don't look him up, you look up Second Samuel. A lot about what that man did, but he was the right king for the right time. And I have to believe that those things are appointed, even if we get people in political office that we vehemently disagree with. What is that going to do for us? Is that going to draw things out of us? Is that going to keep us from maybe being lazy and maybe more proactive and trying to keep better things going? Sure, that's why we have bad times.
So Trezi, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, so forgive me. How many got divorced 3 times because of adultery? I don't know. I don't know the stats on that.
Talking about presidents?
Uh, oh, are you talking about presidents, Trezi?
Yeah.
Um,
I don't.
oh, maybe she's talking about Trump.
Maybe talking about Trump. No,
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I don't know. I'll tell you this. This is something I listened to a lot of Wayne Dyer. He's one of the guys there's something about him that just fits my way. And if you want to go back and look at he's deceased now, but he has just a host of things on various platforms. But he said something in the book this morning I thought was really good. He said every civilization in the history of humanity that we discover, we find these new civilizations tucked up in jungles and deep in deserts. The first one is every one of them believe that there is an invisible world beyond this world. Every one of them do. There's an invisible world beyond this world. The second one is they believe that there's a part of that world inside of each and every one of them. That's why they worshiped. They built big temples and pyramids and all these things because they believe there was a part. Even today, even Christians, if you will, or Muslims or Jews, they all still believe this. And the third one is each and every one of those civilizations wanted to meet and know God. So do I believe that that's in people who are our political leaders, our presidents? I'd like to think so. Those 3 components. They believe there's a world beyond an invisible world beyond this one. There's a part of them that's in each and every one of us, including all you, including me and Rob. It's in us. But the third one is we all want to meet and know God, whatever we want to call God. We want to meet and know Him. So if that makes someone Jesus-like, okay.
Wickety Split, aka Kevin Bailey, says, I wish I could eat breakfast and listen to you guys every morning like I'm doing right now. Well, I hope you're eating some bacon, maybe some steak. I hope that's what you're eating. That's let's see here. I do like that. Not gonna lie. That is a good breakfast.
We have the good fortune down here where we are, which is in Southeast Texas, that we have these little breakfast spots, and there's 2 of them on my way in, and those folks can sure cook, and I want to call it Mex breakfast. That's what we call it down here, and it sounds like it's similar to what you're having. And
so let's see. Hi, I'm from California, by the way. That's well, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us, Monterey, California. Beautiful country.
This thing make more sense.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
I went to California a lot, but a few times I've been. I was in San Diego, greatest, and my wife and I were there one time for a school event for one of our kids, and I got a wild idea. And I said, "Babe, let's fish." So I just, randomly looked up a charter, and we booked it the same day, and we ended up going out. We could see Tijuana
Hey,
from the boat, which was right there. I mean, it's right there, and we caught some of the best tuna.
wow.
Man, I'll tell you what, that was one of the greatest times. Got to see sea lions, all over the
Yeah,
place. Got
yeah.
to see the naval base from the water, coming in and out.
Yeah.
It's a really cool experience. So any of our viewers out there that if you get the opportunity, go to San Diego, take a fishing trip, man. Just go out there in the Pacific Ocean. I mean, it's just beautiful. Had so much fun, and those guys that we took that trip with were amazing. And I wish I could remember their names, but they took such good care of us. We caught bluefin and yellowfin.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it was amazing, and did something I had never done before. They actually made ceviche on the boat. Yep. They had they didn't tell us that they had it, but they brought all the stuff with them, chopped up
Yeah.
vegetables and lemon and all the stuff.
Yeah.
And so we catch the tuna, and they made it right then. And I mean, we weren't even paying attention. We were catching fish so fast.
Wow.
And turn around, and one of the guys was like, "Here, try this," and he just hands you a plate with stuff on it. And I was like, "What is it?" And he go.
Thank you, Monterey.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that. Let's see. Let's see here. Why are red states? Deadly Hash says they look like Trump supporters. Is that a racist comment, by the way?
I trimmed my beard. Is
yeah.
that what that is? That was this morning.
I'm
Bought
not
new
sure.
razors yesterday.
That does make me curious, though, Deadly Ash. What is a Trump supporter? What is the profile
Yes.
of your prototypical
Yes.
Trump supporters appearance?
Curious. Yes.
That's a
Let
first.
us know. Yeah.
That's a first.
And we'll be on the lookout.
So KSM 22 or 221, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Let's see. Thanks for joining us, Lisa. Hey, I see Brad Bennett joined the show today. So if you guys, I'm gonna give you guys a little plug for Brad Bennett. These chairs we're sitting in the set. If you ever watch our show very often, or if you see us on YouTube or watch our shorts and reels and things like that, our furniture is sponsored by a local business called Highway Furniture and Mattress. I actually stopped in to see Brad last week.
Okay.
I went in there just to check out the showroom. It's amazing. He's got the biggest furniture showroom in Southeast Texas.
Really?
I think he's got more square footage of furniture available. And this is not a paid commercial by any chance, so don't judge me. I'm not good at that. But go in there and check him out. He has all the things you didn't know you need, plus the things you think you need.
There it is.
What I found in there last week, which was much to my surprise and much out of the plan, and I'm still mad at you, Brad. What I found in there, or what he pushed on me, was a pillow with a cutout in it for a side sleeper, which was amazing. And it's a cooling pillow. It has this like memory foam cooling stuff, but that's not all. That's not the craziest part. The craziest part about this stupid pillow is it's scented. Like lavender.
Of course it is.
So my wife, those of you who don't know, my wife
Good job, Brad.
My wife and I lost a child to cancer. And that's how Chuck and I became friends. Chuck was our grief therapist. Well, so night times are the hardest times for my wife because of sleep. When she closes her eyes and quiets her mind, the thoughts of all the what ifs and the grief really comes at her hard. And anything I can do to help enhance her rest, enhance her sleep, I'll do.
Right.
So Brad showed me that pillow. I bought it.
Okay.
I got it for
Okay.
works as a fifth grade English teacher. If she could thing to school with thing, take the pillow to school with it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if any of you out there have sleep issues and you know want a little assistance and relaxation, if you're a side sleeper, which is the healthiest way to sleep, by the way, for your digestion and everything,
Yes.
sleep on your left side. But get you one of these side sleeping scented memory foam cooling pillows. I mean, I don't know how much else you could say about it, but that thing is ridiculous.
That's awesome. And then she's going to tell her friends, but you better stock up, sir. It's coming. I'm interested. I'm a side sleeper. That's awesome.
John Anthem says, let's talk about mattresses. Enough about pillows. That's funny. All right. So anyway, I'll let all that stuff go. So I am curious.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah.
We're enjoying it.
I am curious about what you guys think about this thing in Iran. Now, you guys want to talk politics. There's a lot of people always in the chat wanting to talk about stuff about politics. We started out today talking about goals, about achievement, about focus, talking about, you know, some simple strategies for creating and learning. So what is the strategy with Iran as far as America?
Yeah.
And what do you think we are truly accomplishing there right now?
Short term, midterm, long term. What do you think? We're involved. If this is our country, these are our military at work and other government people. What do you think is going on here?
So we've got something serious that we're gonna switch gears a little bit again. Lisa says I don't. I guess she's saying I don't about Iran. But Lisa, thank you so much for your bravery and courage to share what you just shared. And if anybody disrespects you in the chat, they deserve to be blocked, and I hope no one does. But Lisa says, can you help me with the fact that my little brother committed suicide 3 weeks ago? Lisa, if you would, I'm so sorry. Truly, we are both very sorry for your loss. There's no good that comes in that moment of a person taking their own life. And how old was your brother, Lisa, if you don't mind me asking? And we will definitely be praying for you, Lisa. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Proud of you she says he's got strong faith. Very proud of you for that. He was 50, and that's young by any stretch. 50 is young.
Very young.
Was he tormented with depression? Was he a service member in our military?
Yeah.
Is there a little backstory that you wouldn't mind sharing? We'll all be in prayer for you,
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes, and your family.
Where are you from, Lisa? He was depressed and drunk.
And of course, the alcoholism is a consequence of probably a lot of pain that he had.
Something I want you to hear from us, Lisa. This is very important in this time because we've all, like, I don't know about all, but I know I've lost friends, loved ones, and family members to suicide.
Yes.
Something you need to know. Lisa, it's not your fault.
No.
And you couldn't have stopped it.
That's right.
The sad truth is that any person made the decision and committed to the choice of taking their own life cannot be stopped.
Right.
So
speaking of goals, that could be one of the first goals for you to accept that. Not to like it. That's not what acceptance means. Accept the fact there's nothing like it. It got beyond the people who loved him. And I'm very, very sorry. That is probably one of the most difficult things to ever go through.
So Lisa says that her 80-year-old mother came home from quilting class and found him in the driveway.
Man.
Was he in his vehicle? Did he do it in there? Is that how he ended it? Well, Lisa says if he loved us, he wouldn't have done that. The truth is, Lisa, he didn't love himself.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on that he was battling, whatever he was tormented by, it was all he could see was himself. It wasn't that he didn't love you.
Right.
It really wasn't. It wasn't that he didn't love his family. It wasn't that he didn't love his mom or you.
Right.
He was confused. He lived in a state of internal chaos,
Yes.
and it drove him to the point where he couldn't take it anymore. That's how that happens. They feel like that's all there is chaos.
Right. I was visiting with a client not long ago, and one of his childhood best friends, they also ended up in the same industry with the same company, pretty much a lifetime, decades of life together, vacation together, all these things. And here in the last year or so, he too took his life in a very similar fashion. And so we started visiting. So I went ahead and took him on as a client, if you will, and we're visiting. And I have to do it in deposits. We talk about it, then we move to other topics, then we come back. And about the third or fourth time we came back, I've dropped something on him, and I'm going to share with you, Lisa. You can share with your family. The option of that action was in your brother many, 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 many years ago. Like the guy I'm talking to, probably even in their early childhood, and nobody knew it. They kept it hidden. They kept it suppressed, likely because they know the consequences, in some form or fashion of what you're going to go through. But at some point, the energy it takes to keep it suppressed begins to erode, probably because of depression, maybe even because of some of the substances. And once that layer, the heaviness of the power to suppress starts to get thin, it starts coming through and vaping through until at some point it's an option. And at some point it's an option that's stronger than the will to not. And then here we are. And so I know that's a weird little way of telling it, but I wanted to share that with you just to let it sink in. Like Rob says, give it some time, think about things like that. And then we'd love to hear back from you.
And Lisa, while there's nothing good that comes from a suicide. It is an opportunity for you to see the value in your life.
Yes.
And one of Lisa's comments, Chuck, is that she says, I should have been able to save him. And I'm going to do something, Lisa, if you'll bear with me. I'm going to kind of take that sentence apart, and I want you to see something. That word that you used, on yourself, is so unfair. And it should. The word should is a word of horrible judgment. And you don't own that. You didn't cause that, and you couldn't prevent it.
Right.
She also says that he did it on the porch because he didn't want to make a mess on the couch. So there's nothing you could do. You couldn't save him.
Right.
And don't should on yourself, okay?
Right. The word should even been using it, and it's a natural thing, so it's okay. But try to push back from it, and let's see if we can't find better ways of describing your position. But the word should implies that you or others put that idea in him. That's not true. Nobody in your family talked about things like that ever as an option for solving pain, ever. So that means it was not put in him. He got that from somewhere else. And here we are on media. There's television, there's other things. There's plenty of other sources for him to get that idea inside of him. And it didn't come from the people who love him. I feel pretty sure about that.
She says, I appreciate that. She says it's, big sister stuff. And
sure,
I can only imagine the sense of responsibility that you would be tempted to feel about that.
Right.
I'm a big brother. And I can relate to that aspect of it, being an older sibling and feeling that responsibility. I have a sibling that does things to themselves, and it's very hard not to feel like you should intervene. And there's that word again, the should. But
how about we say it this way? It's very hard not to feel it's your place,
right,
to intervene. Of course, we would do anything we can do to keep this result from happening. No one would argue with that. But here's the challenge, and I don't want to interrupt Rob talking about a sibling, but the challenge is we have to be given permission. If that stuff is kept from us, I don't know that it's happening. I don't know that it's coming. And as a counselor, a lot of times when folks come to me after something like this, I say, tell me what you knew about that as an option. And a lot of people say, I didn't even know that's what they were thinking. I had no idea. that means that we're protected from that. It's weird to think about, I know. And so with a sibling that struggles, I mean, that's a powerless feeling, you know. I mean, I know Rob feels powerless like that. There's nothing I can do when they get in that way.
And the truth is, Lisa, that you really were powerless against what he chose to do.
Yeah.
And the only encouragement about that particular part of it is I would give you is to accept it. He made that choice outside of your control, influence, and accountability. So don't hold yourself responsible for it.
And I know we say acceptance like it is a conclusion. It's actually a process.
Yes.
And I hope that you find some personal counseling for you and your family to help develop those accepting habits. And if I may, Rob, is there a way for me to let her know about my class?
Yeah, please do it.
Yeah,
Do
so
it now.
I actually do a 7-week grief class
For free.
no charge. It's all virtual, so wherever you are in the country, even if you're in Monterey, folks can come in, and you just have
Lisa's in Oregon.
She's
on
in
the
Oregon.
beach.
Oh, there you go. So it's a little West Coast timing. You know, we're a couple hours ahead of you. But go to my website if you're available. Write this down. Chuck Oliff. I'll spell my last name. OLLIFF as in football. ChuckOliff.com. ChuckOliff.com. Go to that website, and there's a place on there. It says free grief class. It's one of the top options. Click on that and scroll down just a tad, and there's a place to register. If you'll register, it sends me your email. It sends you the consistent Zoom link. And after you do that, I'll put you in my library, and then you will get constant reminders when the class is going. We're starting a new one tonight, maybe a little bit fast for you because it's a proactive class. Okay, people don't come in, they don't talk. I do the talking. I do the teaching actually. So if it's not this time, I do it 4 times a year. So we'll start again in July, and then you can definitely come back and join us in then. But in the meantime, reach out. There's a contact me option on there, and I would love to tell you more about what we do. And it's free. It's free for you and your family. I mean, even your 80-something-year-old mother, you just put it on Zoom. 83-year-old mother. Just open up the Zoom link, turn off the cameras and the microphone, and just listen. Just listen. And I'd like to think that you could get a lot out of it. I've been doing that for about 25 years now. So there's a lot of information about things such as acceptance.
So Lisa, thank you for the courage that you had to share that. It's important that you find outlets to be able to share the story. Talk about your brother. Talk about the good things that you remember of his life, and talk about what you're going through. That's healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. And I promise you one thing, and this is something so important that you need to understand: you're not alone.
Yes.
You're not the first. You're not the last. To yourself, it's the worst, though.
Yes.
And there's no shame in that. Be gentle on yourself. It's so hard to accept this, okay? But don't judge yourself so harshly.
Right. Right.
Don't tell yourself, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or I should do this, or I should do that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You know, in the spirit of our theme today about moving forward, goal setting, going forward, I want you to remember this phrase, Lisa, and anybody else who's tuning into the show today. Live a life that honors them. Whoever them is in your life. Right now, it's your brother, but everybody has a them. Could be a parent, could be a mentor. I want to live a life that honors them. You know, we've lost, parental figures in our life. Rob's grandfather, my dad, and we live a life to honor them. That's partly what this is. This is an incarnation of that. And so we have no idea what could come from this loss where you could affect the world for better. It can happen.
And Lisa, 3 weeks is less than a day. Metaphorically speaking, 3 weeks is not enough time to consider yourself to have been through even the beginning phases of the process. So don't be hard on yourself, and nobody else has a right or place to judge you in your journey through grief. No one. And I'm going to give you a little bit of perspective. My wife and I lost a kid to cancer. She was 8 years old when she died. Now, it's a different experience losing a child than it is a sibling, but death is death.
Mhm.
It's been 21 years. And to my wife, especially, and to me in some ways, it's as if it was yesterday. It's as if it was today. It doesn't go away.
Mhm.
So be soft on yourself. It's okay that it's still raw.
Mhm.
It's okay that it feels fresh. It's okay to break down and cry, even if it happens at the most inopportune times. Somebody's going to be there that understands.
That's right.
And who cares for those who don't?
It's not their burden to bear. Yeah.
The biggest thing I could say to you is just, be soft on yourself. There's a lot of temptation to say, I should be doing better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of temptation to say, I should be over this part by now. I should be okay, but I shouldn't be crying right now.
Right.
All those shouldn't, throw them out. They don't serve you.
And so that's why I encourage you to get yourself into a good program. It could be the one I offered or one of your own, so that you can get the influence from someone you can trust to think differently so that you can move forward. And part of the reason Rob says to this day, over 21 years later, it still has an effect is because our level of grief and our level of love are the same. They still love her to this day. So there's a portion of grief that's still there. It's now an attachment. Is it as heavy as it was 2 decades ago? Likely not. But is it still there? Absolutely it is, because that's part of honoring her.
And it's not necessarily that it's not as heavy. I've gotten stronger and able to carry the weight better. That's how my wife is too. And we've learned how to honor her life better now. Like for instance, my wife and I chose things to do forever that would honor her. We adopted kids. My wife's now a school teacher, and all of that is a part of honoring her.
Yes.
So,
And in a sense, even things like this, what we're doing here, is a chance to do things for others that unfortunately that sweet baby was limited in what she can do.
that's right.
So she's actually influencing today.
And Lisa, believe it or not, you're honoring your brother right now.
Right now.
You're honoring the relationship you have with him right now on this show, because the chances are that somebody out there that had been a part of this, is right now listening to this, maybe the clip that I make of this later, they're going to be blessed by your journey.
Yes.
Know that they're not alone. So keep telling the story, keep talking about it, and maintain that courage that it took you to talk about it with these strangers and whoever else wants this chat. I'm going to say I'm proud of you, and I'm very grateful that you're willing to put yourself there this way. And that's a lot more than a lot of other people have. But good for you.
To just hide in the room, maybe pull the covers up over the head and not push. Going to be you pushing, and that fruit will come from that. And people will benefit from what you're doing.
That's right.
You're starting right now.
So thank you so much for being a part of our show. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of the pursuit of your purpose.
Mm.
And I have to say that this gives you an opportunity to be able to relate to people in a way no one else can. So you operate now from a new place of abundance. You operate now with a new opportunity to be a giver to others that you could have never connected with before. So Lisa, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your courage. And I hope that you are blessed and you will be in our prayers.
Yes.
Please reach out to Chuck's grief group, send him a message or join him there on that website he gave.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anything we can do to be of help to you, please send us a message.
Mm-hmm.
We'll gladly help you in any way we can. Also, for any of you out there who may struggle with thoughts of self-harm, struggle with thoughts of suicide, we're here and
Yes.
we're open to talk. And I don't care how crazy your thoughts are. I have no judgment for you. you could call me or message me, and we could talk about just about anything. I promise you that there will not be shame.
That's right.
And that's one of the things that I believe that we as a society, we as Christians, we as whoever you want to identify yourself as, we fail each other by placing shame on other people because we don't understand or accept their ways or their thoughts. And that's a promise that I'll make you from us, that there will be no shame. We will listen to you, we will encourage you, and we will help you as best we can find purpose and meaning for your life. But your life is worth living. If you have those thoughts, please reach out to us.
Yes.
Allow us the privilege of being there for you.
Right. Right. And if you are in a crisis situation, there are countless people at your fingertips. You can call hospitals, you can call law enforcement, you can call somebody to get you to a professional person who can spend more quality time than they may have available. But they have access to all those resources. Please reach out before we have conclusions that we don't want, like Lisa's brother. We want to try to intervene as best we can. So we are offering that as an option. Please call emergency people first. They will get you to someone. You're not in trouble. Okay. They know what to do next.
Well, Lisa, we love you too. Thank you for being a part of our show. Guys, thank you all for being a part of the Pursuit of Purpose audience. We're going to go ahead and sign off now.
I'll say this real quick. Lisa, my class starts tonight.
Oh, like session one?
Session one.
It's a season.
It's a new season. So session one at 6 o'clock Texas time. I presume that's 4 o'clock Oregon time. And so if you can make an effort, go ahead and register. You'll get the link, tune in, and you'll get a taste for it. You know, just tune in, kind of stay quiet and just listen. Hopefully it'll be something for you. I didn't realize you were several weeks in. You're at a really good space. So it's not a week out. It's nearly a month out, and that actually might be good timing for you. So I offer that to you tonight.
Hey, Captain 7 America, it's good to see you. Thank you. God bless you as well. And God bless you, Lisa. For all of you out there, thank you very much. Join us next week, same time, same place, 10 o'clock on Tuesday. And we look forward to it, and we will see you then and talk soon.
Question every